Alright, so as everyone knows, I am a huge Dragon Quest fan. But I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of manga, Japanese comic books. Well, even with that being said, I couldn't turn my eyes up on this when I saw it. This is Dragon Quest Monsters Plus, a manga for the Dragon Quest Monsters series. Plus. So this is actually serialized into English, which is pretty cool, but it still reads like manga, which is right to left. I actually tell you that if you happen to start at the wrong side. This is really cool. It follows the plot of the original Dragon Warrior Monsters game, which is a childhood favorite of mine. I argue it's actually better than Pokemon in terms of gameplay aspects and music, actually. It's really good. Dragon Warrior Monsters follows the plot of Terry. Not to be confused with Terry 309, friend and fan of the show, but Terry from the Dragon Quest VI game, also from Dragon Warrior Monsters. This manga follows the plot of Cleo. What? Who's Cleo? This guy. Wait, isn't that Terry? No, it's Cleo. So what's going on here? Well, if you followed the plot of Dragon Quest VI and Dragon Quest Monsters, they use what are called warp gates, where you can warp between different worlds. And Dragon Quest VI also has like 2 simultaneous worlds going on at once. And so, in a sense, this kind of merges the idea of Dragon Quest VI, where people can exist in totally different lives in separate dimensions that are not entirely correlated. And Cleo finds his way into Terry's world. And they have similar paths in a sense. Terry is a master of monsters and Cleo just wants to slay them. And so when he comes into this world of Great Tree, people think he's Terry. And they're like, oh yeah, oh, wait, that's not Terry. And he ends up taking on this role of the adventurer and trying to become a great adventurer. But the problem is, like, he's not necessarily a master of monsters. He's just a guy that wants to slay them. Like in the beginning of the manga, he's trying to kill a slime. And then like a model slime comes and defends the other slime. And then when he goes to the new world, he actually has to befriend one. And there's some conflict there. But the thing is that Terry has disappeared and nobody seems to know why. There seems to be a wave of dark evil across the kingdom of Great Tree. And Cleo finds himself as like a lone adventurer who can kind of save the day. They do put the traditional cliche of the hero's arc on Cleo, but I think it works for the most part. I understand that this is manga, this is a comic book. You know, it's not like the most serious plot line. I'm not going in to have my mind blown. I think it's good enough for what it is. It does rely on a few tropes that I'm not particularly fond of. It does tend to sexualize the women, which, you know, fine, but I mean, it's a kid's, book we're talking about, our kid's game. And, I mean, like, it seems like innocent stuff, but then it kind of merges with that Japanese pervy style where it's like, okay, well, like the woman who's like supposed to merge the monsters is like climbing up the stairs, and then like you can see up her up her freaking shirt, like to see her panties, and then like another one is like the barbarian woman, and they're both flirting with Cleo and they're both claiming him, and he's just there like so, it gets weird at times. I think what I like about it the most is probably the nostalgic appeal and how it even does correlate to the world of Dragon Warrior Monsters. It explains things like the concept of the starry night, when monsters meet and mate and then create offspring. When, you have like this, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of a good Dragon Quest monster to name. How about like a Draki and then a slime meet and then they produce like a freaking skeleton. Like, I don't know, it's not a great example, but like, it's just the concept. So really cool throwbacks. Some stuff is unrealistic. Some stuff is cliche, but all in all, I think it's a nice little tribute to a beloved gem of a series in Dragon Warrior Monsters. And I'm really surprised to see it got the English work done, but I'm happy too. I'm happy to support it. It does leave off on a nice cliffhanger. It leaves you thinking about what's going to happen next. And so would I recommend Dragon Quest Monsters Plus Volume 1? Totally. Especially if you like the original game. This is a must. Thank you, Mine Yoshizaki. Looking forward to Volume 2.